Thank you for tuning into the Walk in Truth Radio Network. Stay tuned for an encouraging word from Pastor, Teacher Dr. James Sutton. Let's see what Pastor Sutton has to say to us today.
Hello, this is Pastor Jay of Walk in Truth Radio Network. You're with your encouraging word for today. I want to talk about grace. I want to talk about that awesome gift that God has given to us who believe. And I want to encourage you as saints of God, speak, preach, teach, and live out grace. Why? Because that's how we're saved, that's how we grow, and that's how we move and have our being. Because of the grace of God and what Jesus did on the cross for us, we have grace, the unmerited favor of God bestowed upon sinners who don't deserve it. Because if we could work to get it, it would be work and not grace. And that's the beautiful, awesome part of grace. It's so magnanimous that it's unbelievable. And people are scared to say it because they think, well, if you preach grace, you're telling them they can sin. No, you're not. No, you're not. When you preach grace, you're giving them the only avenue by which they could possibly stop sinning. Because grace understood means that you understand the love of God that was shed abroad in your heart at Calvary. The sacrifice, the grace is free to you, but it cost God his son. And because God's judgment on mankind was satisfied with the wrath of God being poured out on him that was due to us, we can participate in the righteousness, the holiness, and the love gave us grace. His sacrifice, one man's sacrifice for sin, once and for all, has given us the grace and the authority and the power to walk not in condemnation anymore, but in liberty. And legalists hate liberty. Legalists want you and wants me to follow their list of do's and don'ts. And remember what I said, their list. If Jesus fulfilled the law, then there's no more list. Just one commandment. Love your neighbor as yourself, and it covers everything. You won't steal, you won't kill, you won't commit adultery, all of that. And it's a process. But this salvation by grace is a once and for all thing. And those who don't like grace and love legalism will always give you a list. Instead of God being a judge on your performance, which you never could perform well enough for God, they become your God and tell you how well you're performing. They will tell you whether God accepts you or not. How heretical is that? I was in a situation where somebody said, that prayer that person said is not acceptable to God. And I know what's acceptable to God. So if you know what's acceptable to God and know that person's heart, then you are God. God tells us to know no man by the flesh, but by the Spirit. But even in that, the arrogance of the church to think that they have the corner on God, and you'll find yourself looking to them for acceptance and trying to jump through their hoops and trying to live up to their standards and trying to live legalistically without grace. And when you try to live that way, you don't have any grace. There's no mercy. There's no love. It's only do this, do that, or you didn't do it well enough, so you need to continue to do this or that. No, you did that well, but the problem with legalism is if it follows the law, they all have to be done to godless perfection, and no man could do that. So grace, what does it do? What does it do? It is going to be abused. I'm going to tell you that. When you preach grace, it's going to be abused. I'm reading a book by Chuck Swindoll called The Grace Awakening, and it is one of the most awesome books I've ever read. And it really gets into the detail of the fact that grace by nature, human nature, is going to be abused. Some people are going to use it as a license to sin. Do we stop preaching grace that saves? See, that's what the devil wants you to do. He will want you to become so legalistic and say, look at these people, excuse me, over here, who's doing whatever they want to do under grace. Okay. But what about the millions of people who get saved, sanctified, and full of the Holy Ghost that we don't see. They become Christians. They become true believers and disciples of Jesus Christ that you may not know. What you see is the low-hanging fruit. Those who will take advantage of grace in a negative way, in an unlawful way, in an unholy way. But what about the millions of people who are walking out the grace of God in their day-to-day lives, being kind, being gentle, willing to serve one another, do good by their neighbor, always looking to do good in the household of faith? See, those people don't get any press. It's only the low-hanging fruit who want to kill grace. So my encouraging word for you today, you got saved by grace, you need to live by grace, and you need to study grace. Because as I go deeper into grace, it's true. There's no law that can supersede love. Because love and grace trumps law, license, and liberalism. So think about that. I want to set you free. For freedom's sake, Christ has set you free. And those who he has set free are free indeed. Live out your life full of love and grace. You won't need a law. You won't need a law. All you need to do is keep mining out, digging up what was done for your Calvary, and learn to appreciate it, love it, and follow it. This is Pastor Jay of Walk Truth Radio Network. I always want you to be encouraged, blessed, and at peace. Always remember, walk in the truth of God and follow his grace as the example. If you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platform of choice that you're listening to. Please go over to our YouTube page, Walk Truth Radio Network, and subscribe, like, and share. And if by chance you want to donate and love this content, please do so on your favorite platform of choice. Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. You can find that in the description box. But most of all, we need your prayers. And I'm going to say it again. Walk in the truth of the Lord. Be encouraged, be blessed, and at peace. And again, live your life lovingly and graciously, understanding you've been given every gift. Peace.
Hey everyone, this is T. Drake, your podcasting godmother of connection. Now, have you ever wanted to start your very own podcast, but you're just unsure of what to do? Well, guess what? I've been there. So I'm going to help you out. I am going to help you with your social media, your messaging, and so much more. You will even get access to some of my podcasting friends. So guess what? There's a lot that you're going to get. So I hope that you'll join me in this amazing opportunity. Now, all of that sounds great that I just talked to you about. Now, I bet you're wondering, the whiff up. What's in it for me, T. Drake? Tell me what this is going to run me. And you can best assure that I'm going to make it affordable for everyone to participate. And I'm so glad it's going to be spectacular, stupendous, amazing. Oh my gosh, you can hardly believe it. So, this is what it is. Now, I'm going to be offering something amazing, 4 sessions that I normally offer for $1,000 value. But for a limited time, I am offering a special offer for my first 100 students, not for $500, not for $450, not for $350, not even for $250, but for $200. You got it. T. Drake, your podcast godmother of connection, is offering this to truly help those that have been on the fence. Now is the time to pull the trigger and use your roar. Let's go. Rawr.